What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Blue J 10. I am back again with another one, man. You tried. You tried to do everything that you possibly could to keep things in good standings, but it just wasn't enough. Just because it wasn't enough for one person doesn't mean that it won't be enough for the next. As long as you continue to pursue, or in a sense, chase what's not for you, the longer you'll be without the things that are actually meant to be in your life. The longer that you'll be without the person that's for you. There's somebody out there who requires exactly what you have to offer. There is somebody out there who will not complain, who will not go against you. And in a sense, when you're not meant to be in a specific, position of love, when the love itself feels like a game of tug of war. No matter what you do, no matter how much effort you put in, it always seems to just retract, and it feels as if there's more force going in the opposite direction than in a positive direction. But once you do let go of that rope, once you do give up, you feel a sense of relief. You feel a sense of mental clarity that you never would have gained if you continued to try to hold on. And right now is the time that you just let go of that rope. Now's the time that you put all of your energy into finding, or at least attracting, the things and the people that are actually meant for you. Sometimes the hardest part isn't necessarily letting go, but learning how to start over. And even for me personally, it's just the concept of having to put yourself in a position to learn another person, to wonder if they're going to be open-minded enough to accept your flaws and everything that you come with. But in this way of life, you have to be willing to go through that 1,000,000,000 times if it takes that. But the last thing that you could do is settle. The last thing that you could do is put yourself in a position where you're not getting what you deserve. But no matter what you decide to do with your life, starting over is going to be a part of your journey. If it is not working, if it is not something that is continuously building up and you've tried time after time, then there is no need for you to continue to pour into something that has no value towards you. But I feel like as humans, we often get stuck in this cycle of judging people based off their potential and not who they are at this very moment. But if we are to judge everyone based off potential, then we'll quickly realize that we'll be short-staffed because nobody will hold up, to the expectations that are put on them. So it's best that we start to look at people for who they truly are. Whatever somebody is showing you at that very moment, we need to view them as such. We don't have any more time to waste trying to give people the benefit of the doubt or allow people access to us who simply aren't providing us value, or people who are stringing us along trying to sell us a dream. This is what you simply do not have time for. Really just learn how to say yes to experiencing new people. Because one of my biggest flaws when I was going through something similar is I wouldn't be open-minded enough to want to allow the next person to have access to me, whether they were good or bad. But the only way that you're going to truly be able to get over the last person that you were with is if you allow yourself to experience new people, if you allow yourself to experience and gain new memories. These are things that are all a part of the process. They're a part of the healing journey. They're a part of everything, including you moving on and finding the new partner or whoever is for you. But if you don't give yourself this chance or this opportunity, then it'll be much easier for you to backtrack. It'll be much easier for you to fall into old habits. So just take all the hard work that you put in, take all the energy, all the money that you may have poured into that person, and just accept the loss for what it is. You cannot change them. You cannot change how things went, and the damage is already done. There is nothing on this planet that you can do to change the past. The only thing that you could do is stop turning around and looking back and focus on the future and what the future has in store. But the longer that you reflect, the longer that you tend to hold this person in close proximity to your heart, will just be more time that you spend safeguarding your heart and not allowing the next person who genuinely wants to love you to provide you that love that you may want. But you need you right now more than anything. You need to focus on this concept of healing and turning yourself into the person that you know is going to attract the best love for you. And I feel like what psychs so many people out of wanting to move on is just the idea of, having a scarcity mindset, not knowing if they'll find someone better, not knowing if they're worthy enough to actually acquire that form of love that they may want. But I'm here to tell you today that you can go out and get whatever it is that you want. Each and every last thing that you desire, even if it may not seem, morally right to the next person. You may be someone who's interested into somebody pouring into you 100%, traditional, where, the wife may stay at home, the husband go to work all day. And a lot of people just simply aren't into that. Some people would much rather do 50-50. But I'll say that to say that it doesn't matter what you require or what you want. There is somebody out there who has the same, let's just say, values and moral compass as you, and that are okay with that. You just have to be patient. You have to take the time to go out and seek this person. You have to take the time to transform yourself into the person that is better going to attract whoever it is that you may require. Take the time to heal. Take the time to work on yourself. But you're going to be heartbroken regardless. And this is something that you can't avoid. And I feel like oftentimes in life, we get caught up in this cycle of really just trying to skip stages, trying to just jump straight to the fairy tale part where everyone's happily ever after. But the truth is, you have to go through those certain experiences in order to even witness that form of happily ever after. How would you even know what that consists of if you didn't have low points? How would you truly be able to value this version of love that you may want if you never had anything else, if you didn't experience those heartbreaks or those downsides of love? It's just all a part of the game. It's all a part of life. And it's really just going to turn you into the best version of yourself. But if you're feeling heartbroken right now, you got to keep your head up. You poured into the person. It wasn't enough. Accept it for what it is. But just because it wasn't enough for them, like I said previously, doesn't mean that it's not enough for the next person. It doesn't mean that the next person isn't going to accept you and all of your flaws. As human as you are, there is somebody out there that will love you open-heartedly and give you exactly what you require. But before you can get to that point, you must first learn to love yourself. You must first learn to be what it is that you need, so that when you do get to that position where you're ready to love again, you're not so dependent and reliant on this version of love. If anything, it's an add-on. Love is a form of synergy. Two people are supposed to come together and create another version of love. And this is something that you guys will both be able to thrive in if you do it properly. But if you don't, then there will always be, you guys bumping heads or going back and forth. And in a sense, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to live an unhappy life, constantly going back and forth with the person that they feel as if they love, because life is too short. That's way too much stress to just be dealing with on a daily basis. So I feel like it's very important that you practice productivity at this point. If you're hurt or you're feeling some sort of pain from the relationship that you may have been in, you have to be productive. That's the only thing that is going to keep you in a proper headspace in order to continuously grow. You can't just sit down and just be like, man, this is just what it is, I'm sad, and kind of just dwell on that. That's just going to break you down. It's not going to be motivating enough for you to want to go out and do more with yourself. But when it comes to love, one thing that I will say is the fact that it doesn't matter how much you love somebody. You can do everything that you possibly could for a person. If you two are not compatible, then you simply aren't compatible. And I was watching this video the other day, and this lady was speaking on the 5 levels of compatibility. And one of the levels that she mentioned was recreational. Do you guys enjoy doing the same things? Is their fun activities the same or aligned with what you enjoy and what you find fun? The next is sexual. Obviously, y'all get that. The other one was intellectual. Can you meet each other halfway? Can you talk about politics and both be on the same page? And there was 2 more I forgot about, but the point that I'm trying to make is that your partner or whoever you meet is not always going to align with all of those levels or those, forms of compatibility. There's certain things that you may not require or fully require that you can skip over, but you do have to meet each other halfway. And that's what love is about. That's what being together is about. It's about how can I reach my true point of solitude with this person while continuously building them up as well. And you're supposed to do this from a position of selflessness, understanding that you're going to have to put that other person first, regardless at some point or sometimes. Not saying that you can't value yourself and you shouldn't, think you a lot of the times, but you have to think that other person. Because if you don't, this is how people feel as if their partner may not love them. This is when, people start to build resentment because they feel like this person is narcissistic and all these other things. So you just have to learn and accept that it's not always going to be about you, and you're just going to have to take that time to build and work on that. But just understanding that, you do have to be aligned morally. At least you have to be aligned in certain aspects of compatibility, because if not, then it'll never work. I'm somebody who realized this late in life, because I used to just think that if you like somebody, then you should just be together. But love itself and emotions and liking somebody is not enough, or is not a good enough reason to completely surrender yourself and want to be in a relationship with them. That person should provide you value. That person should be somebody who elevates you or puts you in this space of true happiness. And if they are not doing that, then this isn't somebody that you should be with. Love is way deeper than what we imagine it to be. And a lot of us, including myself, have not experienced the true form of love that I'm sure we all may want to be in. But that doesn't mean that we don't know what's required in order to get there. The more time that you spend with yourself, the more time that you spend elevating and transforming yourself into the person that you know you're capable of being, will just increase the odds of you attracting what it is that you want. But what it all boils down to me, especially at this moment, if you're feeling a little heartbroken, or if you're feeling overwhelmed because of something that you may have gone through, or you may have went through, is the fact that if that person was for you, you would not have to question majority of the things that you're questioning. Our body will tell us when something is off. There's certain people that I've met in my life where I never had that feeling of uneasiness. I never questioned things. And to me, this is a clear sign that this person, either brings this form of peace out of you in true solitude, or they're just a genuine good person, and this is somebody that you need around you. So you have to learn to listen to your body. You have to learn to listen to the signs and the signals that are put out there for you to kind of, move according to. Because if you don't, you'll always just end up in this constant cycle of attracting the things and the people that aren't really for you. And at this point, we just don't have the time for that. So really just take the time right now to really just focus on yourself. Take the time to get your mind right, especially, they're going to regret everything that they've done to you, whether it was things that were truly traumatizing, or it was just the fact that, like I said before, you just weren't compatible and it didn't work. But you have to let it go. You have to move on, and it's okay. The easy and fastest way to fully move on is acceptance. Not blaming anybody, not saying that this person is in the wrong, but just understanding that, hey, it is what it is, and there is nothing that I can do to change the result of what already happened. I have to allow the past to be the past and just move on, because I just can't do anything about it. So why waste your time and your energy reflecting on something that you can't even change, especially a person? I used to do this so much when I was younger. I used to try and meet people that I felt like were ideal, and according to, my image, but I would try to change who they were at core. But when you try to change somebody, whether they're accepting it at first or not, eventually over time, they're going to start to build resentment towards you, because they're going to feel as if they lost their true sense of self. Who they were previously or prior to meeting you is not the same as who they are now. And this is going to make them uncomfortable. At some point during your relationship, they're going to snap out of it and be like, man, I'm losing who I am. So that's why I don't feel like it's good to try to change anybody. Find somebody that you're compatible with. Find somebody that is aligned with your moral compass and the things that you believe in, so it's much more free-flowing and a natural feeling. But if it isn't working, you have to put your self-respect, your self-value, and all of those things above your feelings and emotions, and just let it go. Because I promise you, at some point in your life, you're going to attract exactly what you require and what you need, as long as you stop wasting time entertaining the things that aren't for you. But if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you so much, man. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Like I said, really just keep going, keep pushing forward. You will get exactly what you want out of love, and not only love, but life. The easier it is, or the easier it becomes for you to let go. So just focus on the idea of letting go. Focus on the idea of growing mentally, spiritually, physically, anything that puts you in a better headspace. And what's for you will come to you in due time. But I appreciate y'all for watching the video, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.